Hello, I'm Eben Weisman, lead of the WonderTix continuation team for fall, winter, moving through the 23-24 years. I've been joined on this development project by Nathan Callon, Chris Deacon, Reid Luttrell, Liam McCracken, Andrey Toderyan, Kevin Vuong, and of course myself. Additionally, we've had much help both from the previous WonderTix teams and from Ben and the other contractors for Portland Playhouse who have been significant and active contacts. So, a bit of background on WonderTix. WonderTix is the ticketing and donor management software that has been in development to be used by the Portland Playhouse for several years now. It is a open source project that has been worked on by numerous Capstone teams, and we were in a somewhat pivotal time for it, and we expected there to be a live testing and full release during our Capstone timeline. Because WonderTix is atypical amongst Capstone projects, we decided to take a somewhat alternative approach with the project presentation because we cannot show the entirety of WonderTix, nor would it be very honest because most of the WonderTix platform has not been our work, it's been pre-existing. And so what will follow is a presentation from my entire team as they walk you through some of the work that we've been doing and some of the aspects of WonderTix that we've been able to have an influential hand on. First up will be Reid, talking about some of the work he's done. First, I will be handing off to Reid, who will talk a bit about the image upload, one of the major projects we were working on this term.
Hi, this is a demonstration of the image uploader for event creation. This is a project by Reid, Nathan, and Andrey, and it has been merged and is working on the main website. So, in order to do this, you're just going to go to Manage Ticketing, Events, Add an Event, and we can see a new box here. You can either drag and drop or click, either works. For this, I'm just going to show drag and drop. We got our picture. We can put it right there, and we can see it pops up. Make a little description. And then if we go over to our events, we can see that our event has been created and our custom image is on there. There you go.
For the first few weeks, I worked with Kevin to attach the performance report webpage I worked on last term to the database. However, we were eventually told that, due to version 1 of the database being largely copy-pasted from Salesforce and containing a lot of additional parameters, the project would be a bit too big for the time we had left, and we should move on to other issues. The second thing I worked on this term was issue 579, where the visit source field in the normal and admin checkouts needed to be wired up to the database, and so I did that, adding visit source to the contact controller, as well as the event controller service, and the table in the schema prism right here. And this is the table in the database. Here's visit source. The project I'm currently working on, and will continue with till the end of the term, is the beginning of automated emails. In my discovery phase, I settled on 5 issues: a control file that calls the ESP's API to send the emails, email template files, a configuration file, an opt-in checkbox on the checkout pages, and a testing file. At around this time, we also got in touch with the incoming team for winter, and after onboarding a couple of them, they'll be working on the opt-in button while I try to get the control file started.
Hi everyone, my name is Nathan Callon, and today I wanted to show a few demos of some things I've been working on. And the first one is going to be one of the tests I made for the website, which is purchase ticket as an admin. And the use of this is for whether it's like someone who the website's not working for them or an elderly person, from the admin page you can purchase a ticket for them. So I made 2 test cases for this, and I was going to be showing both of them. One of them is if the user is recognized, and one of them is if the user is not recognized. So it opens a website, and then it logs in as an admin. And then it fills out the event automatically with a sample image, and then it goes to purchase ticket, purchases the test event, fills out information, and then it goes to the Stripe page. And then this is a case if the user is recognized, where they enter these digits. And then there's also the case where they are not, which is the next one. And then the way you can change this is by just editing this part of the test right here. So this puts in another email that's going to be not recognized. And then so we rerun it, sign in as an admin again. And that's going to do the same thing as last time, adding the event, purchasing the ticket, but this time it's going to be an unrecognized email. So it's confirming that this works as well. So as you can see, now it's a different email, doesn't recognize it, and it works. Another thing I want to show is how to use the Google Cloud image upload that me and Reid worked on. And I made a document explaining how to do this, so I'm just going to be showing this video so people in the future can use it. And pretty much we made 3 different versions of Google Cloud storage buckets, and you get access to a service account key file. And in the future, it will be better for someone who works long-term at WonderTix to have this file and give it out, but this is the current method for obtaining and making it yourself. So you go to IAM on the WonderTix app, and then you go to add key, create a new JSON key, and then this will make a new key and download it to your local computer, and then you drag and drop it into the server directory, and then now the code can read from that file and use it to access the service account, which has the buckets. And then there are going to be 3 different versions, which are staging, production, and development. And this one I just have local for testing. But you can see the different image buckets right here, and different versions of them. And then here's an example of an image we upload. It's a donkey. And then this is actually going to get stored into Google Cloud, as you can see right here. And for the different kinds of versions, you select which version you want to do, whether it's test, staging, or production over here. And that's how it stores it online.
Hi all, I'm Liam. During my time on the WonderTix team, I would say I have had 2 main projects that I've worked on. The first project is improving the representation of orders and refunds in the database in response to events or the lack of events sent to WonderTix by the payment processor Stripe. So, like, for example, in refunds, originally when a refund is initiated from WonderTix, Stripe might say this refund looks great and the refund will be marked as having succeeded, but later down the line, Stripe might send a message to the WonderTix webhook saying actually this refund failed, and now in the database it will be properly marked as failed so that someone using WonderTix could see, oh, something went wrong with this refund and manually intervene. The second project I worked on, and the bigger project alongside Reid, is the Stripe card reader payments. So this is going to be useful for whenever WonderTix is used to take payments from someone in person using a card reader. So this has been built off the already existing admin checkout. So first, let's select a ticket to purchase. And, oh boy. The second, bigger project we're working on alongside Reid has been the WonderTix card reader integration. This will allow for in-person payments using WonderTix by accepting cards through a card reader. I will now be demoing the interface. So first, on the admin purchase page, a ticket to purchase is selected, and then a reader to send this purchase to is selected, and then send to reader is pressed. This is the reader interface page with two buttons. The first to refresh the status of payment if for whatever reason automatic updates is not working, and the second is to cancel an order. So now with this payment started, you can go look at Stripe and see that the payment has begun, but it's incomplete. And you see the same in the WonderTix database, where it says there is a purchase starting from a card reader and it is in progress. So I'm going to emulate using the card reader by presenting a virtual payment method. And now we look here, and it's updated to a completed order status, and the same is true on Stripe. It should say succeeded, yep. And on the reader purchase page, it will automatically redirect to a success page. Now I will also show that you can handle a canceled payment using the button I showed before. If you look on Stripe and database, it says there's a when you order start in progress, and you go check out Stripe. There it goes. It says incomplete, and let's say the order is canceled. It is now marked on canceled here, and it's no longer in database because the order has been canceled. Last, I will demonstrate what happens when the reader payment fails. So payment is there, and then here is a card number being presented that will fail, and payment is gone because it's failed. Stripe is going to once again mark it as canceled. Yep, it's canceled. It's payment at the top, and then an error message is put here saying that the card has had insufficient funds. And that is a demonstration of the WonderTix card reader system.
Hello, it's Kevin here, and one of the projects I was working on for WonderTix was a sales overview report, and it was one of the reports that was needed for WonderTix to be implemented. And the goal was to replicate or base off of the Portland Playhouse's current sales overview reports in their Patreon manager and add it into WonderTix. And in this report, it would contain the gross totals for ticket sales, the subscription redemptions, comp tickets listed by showing, as well as the availability. And if we were to open up this link, here's our report list for WonderTix, and I added the sales overview report here. Now, when we open up the sales overview report, it would ask us the start date all the way to the end date. And for this case, what we're going to do is we're going to start from December all the way to today's date of this demo. Now, if we were to enter the dates, it will show the tickable, all the events, when the events are within that date range, the number of reservations, the total, the amount of tickets we sold, the subscriptions, the comp, and the gross total and quantity of the tickets, as well as the availability as well. And for this demo, I showcased the hard-coded data portion just to show what the report would look like, and I will be adding more features and flexibility to this report. Hello, it's Kevin again. Welcome to part 2 of the sales overview report demo. And originally I showcased the report by displaying the hard-coded data portion. Now this time I added new features to the report, such as creating an API that will return crucial information that is needed for our front-end components. For example, some event information that would include the event name and subscription eligibility, the event instances, that would include the date and time of the event, the total seats and the available seats, as well as the ticket restrictions. That would include the price of the ticket limit, and the season prices. Now with this approach, now the report, instead of the report using the hard-coded data now, we could dynamically retrieve the data from the API that I created. In addition, I also added a feature where if the user wants to change the date range, the report will update, and also included features where the user could sort and unsort the columns as well. Here's the demo. Now if we go to sales overview reports, now if we want to see all the events from this year, we would do this, generate, and it will show all the events from this year. Show when the events are and all the crucial data that we need for the report. Now if we were to change the date, for example, like if we want all the events from February, we go here, update the date range. Once we generate, it will update the date range and show all the events within the date range here. Now if you want to see all the events from February to now, we'll showcase here and we'll keep updating. Now you can also be able to sort the columns, and if you want to unsort, you can. And with this approach, now we can display all the data that we need through an API that I created, and that's my work.
Hello, I will be going over my changes in the WonderTix project. The first one will be a bug that I worked on, which is the three navigations we have. It used to be that when you press outside the navigation, it stays and doesn't move, and you'd have to only be able to activate it with this button. I did it that you could press anywhere in any menu. The second thing I worked on is when you select a ticket, we needed a way to mark it if it was complimentary. So previously to this, there was no way to mark this. I worked with Nathan on this feature. I did manually the front end, and he got it working in the back end. When you press the complimentary, it allows you to set it to be complimentary, and if not, to take it away. The third thing I worked on, which is you go select to get your tickets for an event. Type in some stuff, and then let's say you refresh the page. It used to be that it wouldn't save. Now, as we can see, it's all saved. Even if you go back to enter a dollar amount, it still is saved here. So that's very useful if something happens and all your data is gone. Yes, thank you.
Welcome back. It is Eben again, and I hope you enjoyed some of the work that we were doing over the terms and some of the deeper looks into WonderTix as a platform. So to recap the main features that we personally have been developing, we brought countertop payment rating into the WonderTix program and can now theoretically set up in person so that you can pay with a card at a desk with a Square reader. Also, we saw significant improvements in the reporting for sales and other critical features, as well as being able to upload images for events directly, as well as establishing critical infrastructure for future teams coming in, especially Omar's team, who is immediately preceding us, with work for recurring donations and automated emails. Plus, many issues that we've cleared out of the backlog that are too numerous to mention. There were some hiccups along the way. We expected originally to go into live testing and potential deployment early in our second term, but with where WonderTix was and where Portland Playhouse wanted to be for various forms of data migration, that was delayed and pushed back so that the development timeline could be extended. We knew that this was not a guarantee in the winter term, and so we spent a lot of our earlier time readying and preparing to both be able to pick up this project as it was getting deployed and moving with deployment and the challenges that would be, but also being familiar with it in a broad variety of ways so that we could be agile and move as needed. It wasn't your typical Capstone project, and there were many unique challenges to overcome. The biggest was the active and living project was being adopted by us, and we needed to learn a whole lot to be able to effectively add to it and then leave it well and good for the following team so that they can also continue the work. We were challenged to be highly adaptable, which I do believe we did quite effectively. The other way that we found to be highly beneficial to us in learning both WonderTix and the ins and outs of how we may develop for it and what is really needed is we spent the first half of our work shadowing the previous team, spreading out and getting as much broad information as we can. This was also because we did not know what would be preceding us, whether it be another batch of 3 teams or if there would be any teams preceding us at all even. So we wanted to make sure we could effectively hand it off either to a catalog or to Portland Playhouse or to follow-up teams. We wanted to have a full grasp of that information. So, as I've hinted at, the near future of WonderTix, there's another WonderTix team in progress currently, led by Omar, that we are handing off to, have done some work with. They've done shadowing for us. We've done some groundwork to make their life a little easier and have a little bit more of a precise direction to work with. But as far as I know, that will be the final WonderTix Capstone team for now, and WonderTix will go into a sort of evaluation stage and figure out what's really needed. And that is well and outside of our hands. We've also set up, you can expect to see automated emails and recurring donations in the near future, it's open source, so anyone may jump on and give some additional development. You never know what may happen, or who's gotten the bug, as it were. Moving on, I'd really like to highlight my team, as well as our primary contact, for really pulling through with a complicated and multivaried structure of development and being able to work through numerous changes and certain uncertainties and produce a lot of really excellent work that brings new features that are powerful and useful to WonderTix. I'd also like to give a additional huge thank you to the Portland Playhouse for providing me and my team, as well as all of the teams before me, with such an interesting development process and a good taste at what the real world has to offer for being a developer. It's been an invaluable experience, and I do think my team agrees. I would like to say, just with some final words, good luck to the incoming WonderTix team. I hope you guys make some great strides of your own. Do know that I and many of my team members will be delighted to help out for anything that you need coming forward. Just feel free to reach out. You have us on Discord. Thank you. Good night.